Welcome back to coverage of the Innistrad Championship. We have just put Christian Hauck into the top 8, and we're about to see if we can add one more name to the list there, Cedric. We're going to jump into Yuuki Ichikawa versus Futoshi Iwata. Iwata is currently up a game. Both of these players are on Izzet Epiphany, and Yuuki Ichikawa is super duper close to getting that top 8 slot. So he has to win 2 games here against Iwata. Let's jump in and see what these opening hands look like.
Let us jump in indeed. No red mana. Tough start. Ooh, I like it. I suppose there is a Behold the Multiverse, which can tie things together here a little bit, and then you just run off the red mana. That's all. You're fine.
Yeah,
you're fine.
Magic is easy, Cedric. Just roll.
It's not hard.
No,
anybody can do it. Simple. Good draw step. Another good one too. Now here's a expressive iteration. So this is a really, really, really great start for Yuuki.
Very much a mirror match at this point. Both players kind of copying each other, doing some stuff and things. We see expressive iteration finds a spike field hazard that's going to hit the battlefield as a land. And in response, we'll see another expressive iteration from Iwata's side of things. Finds a test of talents. That goes to hand. And ideally finds a land to send off to exile and get that on the board.
Now, much like I said yesterday, I'll say the same thing here once again. We've already watched this mirror match a little bit take place here this weekend. Biggest thing in the early stages and even in the middle stages of the game is mana advantage.
Yep.
Because the games do play out like this. In the first game pre-sideboard, there's a lot more kind of jockeying for position. You're drawing some pretty bad cards because your deck is hedged against the rest of the format. When you sideboard, you board out a lot of those useless removal spells and kind of mediocre cards for better cards, but then you do turn into more of a tap-out mid-range control style of game where there are some counterspells involved occasionally.
Speaking of counterspells, there's one drawn at the top here for Yuuki Ichikawa. He's got a couple of decisions to make here. Does he go for another expressive iteration? Get this Ashmouth Dragon flipped over from the Smoldering Egg. First things first, we're going to foretell. Behold the Multiverse. Maybe just ship things back. Do things on the end step of Futoshi Iwata. So there's Behold the Multiverse on the end step. Will we see Fading Hope here? Get this little itty bitty egg back to hand and undo all of the hard work that these counters have done.
Yeah, I like to call this the little mini game when Smoldering Egg is involved. You're playing like a little sub game in the bigger picture. In the bigger game, excuse me. So this little sub thing of, okay, well, that thing's going to transform. It's annoying enough. Does a nice job of pressuring me. Got to get rid of this thing eventually. Maybe it's time to finally fight over this.
Now, here's an interesting choice. It's always tough giving up these treasures, but this Divide by Zero does not like the thought of treasures and cards on the other side of the battlefield here with Unexpected Windfall.
It's pretty good.
I mean, if you can drag your opponent down with you in terms of mana, right? It's fine.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, goodness. So once again, we see an Izzet Epiphany stack of note. There seems to be a trend amongst these Epiphany decks. Just
it can get
stack of cards.
It can get really messy.
Oh, yeah.
It really can sometimes.
Where do we go from here? I'm going to go and grab Environmental Sciences.
Yep.
Take a look at some cards here. Galvanic Iteration as well as a Blightstep Pathway.
No surprise in seeing both of those kept. Again, putting an importance on lands.
Yeah.
By taking Environmental Sciences, keeping the pathway on top with the scry, picking up another land for the draw step. It's all about being able to play a lot of spells on the same turn for both players.
What's nice here is we could see 2 cards foretold, making the sword coming cheaper.
Yeah.
And the question is, does Futoshi see it coming? Ooh, Tested Talents, another one. We can protect some stuff. Galvanic Iteration into... Yeah, let's do it. Unexpected Windfall, let's get 4 treasures, hopefully. Fingers crossed here. At least one of these will resolve, though, as they are copied, and Sword Coming can only deal with one.
Yeah, this is interesting. Because I got a big grin on my face right now because Yuuki could have just tapped out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could have just went foretell, play egg, go. Decided to leave up Saw It Coming. Makes a lot of sense. Totally understand why that would happen.
Oh, is he gonna nab? Oh,
right. So this is kind of interesting because like if you go for Epiphany, you get blown up by Test of Talents. That aspect of the game changes for both players in a huge way. So there's some fun little back and forth. It's getting pretty good here.
I do love it. It's this game of do you have it, don't you have it?
What am I going to play around? What are you going to play around? What do you know about? What do you think I have? All that other stuff. That's why the blue mirrors are fun.
Yeah. Expressive Iteration has a couple of options to look at here. Test of Talents goes to hand, and Spikefield Hazard will be played as a land for the turn. And I think Yuuki Ichikawa is going to be happy just to send it back and say to Futoshi, do your worst. Now, there is a Lear in hand, which we haven't seen all that much this weekend. I know plenty of decks have been rocking one copy of Lear. I don't think we've yet to see him hit the battlefield.
In the matches that you and I have covered, we have not. You know, if you think about the World Championship that we covered, Lear was a huge card at that tournament, but not the case this weekend. It's still around, still good. There's situations where it's great, but we haven't seen much of it.
So Yuuki Ichikawa being very patient indeed, just deploying all of the stuff he's not too sad to lose. And does Iwata care for this? Be happy to let it hit the battlefield. Both players at 20, both sitting on a mountain of lands. Well, mountains and islands. Treasures aplenty. They're like Smaug.
And this is, I find this to be so interesting and compelling because it's like, okay, well, smoldering egg.
Test of talents.
Right? Like, so this one you could argue is worth having a test over. But again, is Iwata doing this with the intent of, I don't even care about that. I don't even care about my Galvangan. You want to counter it? Fine. Let's have a little counter war so that when I go back to my turn, I get to untap I get to play Lear with mana available. How about that? That's real tough to beat, right? So is this a real Galvanic Iteration, or is this kind of like whatever?
I think it's just a whatever at this point, because I don't think Ichikawa is too beat up about an egg getting countered.
Okay, so here's Windfall.
Lear gets ditched.
We know how powerful this is. This is draw 4, make 4 mana.
Yeah. Can Yuuki afford to let this go? You think he's going to? Oh my gosh.
He says
he's kind of being lured into a bit of a trap here, isn't he? Because
like in a way, it's really interesting, right? And it's really important that all this is happening while Egg is on the stack, so Egg's not having any of the counters removed, right? So if you're going to pick the fight, Futoshi has found the perfect time to do so.
Yuuki Ichikawa able to go digging through the hand, the library, and the graveyard to get all the copies of Unexpected Windfall, and also get an idea of how he's sideboarded.
Information is great in a spot like this.
Yeah.
You know the hand as well. You know there's Divide by Zero, Test of Talents. Know the graveyard. Could probably guess what's foretold.
Yeah. I'll give you 3 guesses. The first 2 don't count.
Deal.
Now, he doesn't have anything to do, but Iwata doesn't know that. Let's see if he pulls the trigger on something this turn. If he's just going to pass it back, keeping up that Divide by Zero and the Test of Talents. Or does he read it here that there's nothing in hand for Yuuki? All right. Divide by Zero.
Okay.
Dragon. Bounce the dragon egg. Yes. There is Teachings of the Archaics. Gonna get a couple more lands. Expressive Iteration. Drawn here. Still 2 Test of Talents available. There's a check for traps. He does have the Blightstep pathway to be able to use that. That's neat. Oh, double? Yes.
It might get a lot more neat in a moment.
Double toil and trouble. Let's go. I must say, this deck and piloting it requires many thanks from these players. They must be so drained mentally playing this many turns and this many decisions against so many mirror matches.
I decided many moons ago, my brain, it's this is somebody else's game. This is somebody else's game. What do they say in sports? They're built different. Yeah, these two are. I can't do this. I can't do this.
Here's the perfect opportunity to fire off one of these tests of talents. Will be an extra turn here, though, for Yuuki Ichikawa. How many time squawks is he going to lose? Did he keep the full 4 in? I wonder.
Yeah, that's a really good question, because sometimes they do board down a couple of copies because the matchup becomes a little bit about some other things.
1, 2.
Looks like 3.
Okay, so only 3 in the main deck or in the pro sideboard.
Yep. And so now you can go back to the egg route if you want to. So you can do like this, discard.
Yeah, go get that express iteration.
Yeah.
Get that out of here.
You also see another copy of Test for Talents.
I like getting rid of that. Yeah, that card just gets you way too much stuff. And the world is his oyster right now. Yuuki is sitting pretty.
Well, Yuuki's kind of an interesting spot, right? Because the life totals are still pretty high for both players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're looking at 21 to 20. Both players know each other's hands and know that they're kind of weak. If I'm being honest, I think Futoshi is doing a little bit better here because of the Test and Talents in the grip. Disruption's a really bad draw.
Yeah.
I think it's really close right now. It's really close.
One thing that I do like for Yuuki, though, if we're going to deliver some beatdowns, heck yeah, let's go. One thing I do like for Yuuki, though, is even if that Test of Talents works its way into the equation, that cost trigger will still get the Ashmouth Dragon flipped. So I don't think we'll see a block here. This guy is going to flip over very, very shortly.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to draw something, though.
Well, I want to check something with Demon Bolt. I'm pretty sure you could target your own thing if you want to.
I mean, you can kill a bird, sure.
Yeah, kill your own bird.
Kill the bird if you wanna.
Get this party started. I mean, I don't know how aggro you want to get, but it's clear that Futoshi was like, "You want to get aggro? I got a 7/7. Let's go." You know, so.
And that decision too is very good because he knows. All right, you know about Test of Talents. You're gonna just not play anything that I want to target, so I'm gonna hit you for a lot. So deal.
Okay. Gonna hang steady. Ooh, that's a really good draw.
That is a really, really good draw for Iwata. Galvanic Iteration. Let's do... Okay, I think that advantage bar needs to go the other way now. Because that's 2 turns coming up here.
I am inclined to agree with you, partner.
Oh, yeah. Card draw, counterspells, manlands, 4 birds now. Oh, bad news bears. Ichikawa needs to draw something good.
This is the bad news here, is this card.
Mm-hmm.
This is timely. Memory Deluge is it's incredibly powerful in a spot like this. Oh. Well.
No. Elrond has far too many epiphanies. I'm just gonna put it out there. Share some of those brainwaves with the rest of us, sir. Expressive Iteration will be the go-to first and foremost, because there is still another turn banked. Oh, there's a dragon. Yeah, let's go. Let's get some dragon action out here.
Put that land away. Fading Hope this way.
Yeah, bounce some stuff. Ugh.
Yep. And bounce a Smoldering Egg.
Yeah, get that out of here, because that's one of the only things that can kill the swarm of birds. I'm interested to see if we'll see both spells in response. Maybe? Demon bolting a bird isn't great, and then Could kill 3 things though, and that's quite appealing.
It is appealing given the situation, right?
Yeah.
If you knew that, well, even if it actually doesn't matter. I was gonna say, if you knew that Futoshi had a Goldspan Dragon, you'd save it. But Test of Talents protects you from that anyway. So you don't even care. So you're gonna make this exchange, as you mentioned. This gets bounced back to the grip, and I don't think Yuki's gonna get another turn. I don't think, maybe, but I'd be surprised.
Oh. One little bird. Gonna get in for points of damage down to 13. Goes Ichikawa. There goes Oren's Epiphany. Oh, hey, cool. Double dragon. Okay. Nice. Oh my goodness. Double dragon though taps out. That's not enough mana for another Epiphany.
Okay.
So Ichikawa does get a turn. What does he need to draw to get himself back into this game? I don't even know. Burn down the house? Kill stuff?
Yeah,
no, that's not gonna help.
That's not in there.
Oh, well, his own dragon. It's pretty nifty.
Get 4. There's a hall too. You don't have any Epiphanies to draw to get a little lucky. Those are gone.
Yep, those are all taken by the previous Test of Talents.
I say drawing pretty slim.
Yeah, it's not looking super good here.
Drawing pretty slim.
I think Futoshi Iwata is going to improve his record here to 11-3 very, very shortly.
Yeah.
Yuki's going to do his best to try and get one of these dragons off the battlefield, knowing that there's a Test of Talents waiting in the wings.
Now you can pick a fight if you want to. You know, if you want to test the talents, as you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's nice to have the control of if I want to do this or not.
Because, I mean, either way, I'm pretty sure we're going to see a Goldspan Dragon here from Yuuki Ichikawa. Man, I would just want to save this dragon so bad. Big decision here. It's gonna die. Okay, cool. And we'll see a Goldspan Dragon here from Ichikawa. Hit the battlefield.
Just trying to figure out if there's another turn to be had here at 4. So Test of Talents doesn't matter. Spikefield Hazard actually cleans out a blocker.
Mm-hmm. Or Ping's face.
Yeah. Epiphany gives you another turn. Just try to figure out the easiest way to get it over with right now if you're Futoshi, because you've got a pretty good lead here, and your opponent has the card in your opponent's hand. So now it's just about don't give my opponent another turn.
Yep. No more turns for you.
Yep.
I'm gonna start cracking some treasures here. Let's kick things off with a lovely Memory Deluge. Let's take a look-see and see what it is that Iwata's taking a look at. Oh no. I mean, 1 was enough, I'm sure, but there's 2 more.
And that's game. And that's game.
That is. Yuki is going to have to win 1 more match after this to get his top 8 spot, but Futoshi Iwata is inching ever closer to his.
Yeah.
Good grief.
So,
I heard you like birds. I heard you like birds in turns. Let's take a few.
Some powerful blue cards, folks. Get my trade on.
Yeah. In comes a dragon. Yep. See a trade there. A donk. And we'll take another turn.
Get my Epiphany on.
Yep. Seems good. And 1 more for good luck. Oh, now you can see, friends, why this is the most popular deck this weekend. Once you get to this point in the game, you just scoop them on up, just skedaddle along. There's not much you can do at this point. And Futoshi Iwata is going to 2-0 in this matchup, improving to 11-3. Congratulations to him.
Fun back and forth. I like watching, first of all, two great players play